And into the last week, the week most important here, week 14, with a ton of buys. Also, I think I have 4 leagues that are kind of I'm on the brink of getting the first round bye, but depends what happens this week. What's going on, Hammer?
It's the day of reckoning. No pun
Hmm.
intended. I know with that new Diddy video out, but yeah, it's Judgment Day for a lot of us. Week 14. Yeah, like I said last week, I'm out of my 2 redrafts, but I secured a playoff spot. But I could get a first round bye in each of the Dynasty leagues that I'm in. So still a lot to play for. Still a lot of things happen. Also, points scored comes into a big factor here. So you
Hmm.
still want to be scoring those points that'll hopefully give you those tiebreakers. But yeah, man, excited. And it's actually a pretty solid slate of games this week as well, with a lot of playoff implications. So yeah, excited to get this ball rolling.
Yeah, when you have the points, it just gives you that
Basically gives you an
advantage.
extra
So
game.
right, like even though I didn't clinch, I did, you know. Diaz, what up, Diaz? What's
Diaz in the
going
building.
on in this last week of regular season matchups here?
Yeah, really good, man. A lot of some divisional matchups that are going to be really interesting as well. So pretty hyped for that. Who's
We
on
got
bye
Jaden.
this week? I know
Uh,
Giants are on bye, right? New England's on bye.
hmm
I don't know who else is on the bye week.
You got Jaden Daniels coming back this week
Yeah,
too.
yeah. A lot of guys playing. A lot of injury stuff going on. Jaden Daniels definitely back. My man, Jaden Reed is back. So that's going to be really awesome. Trying to take on a Bears team that is
Hmm.
currently in first place. Amarion Hampton,
Back as
kind of
well.
in that Bucky Irvin type situation where you've just been waiting forever for this guy to come back. So Amarion Hampton will play, and that's a Monday night game. So it's good that we know he's going to
At a
play
time.
now because of the
Hmm.
Monday night game. Kenneth Walker, good to go.
Yep.
Uh, Rome Odunze will be out for the Bears.
Yeah,
So
I saw
a
that.
little more DJ Moore action, maybe some Luther Burden action.
Dunze hasn't really done much in the past few weeks anyway.
No, no, but he might have an opportunity now. You never know.
Hmm.
Alvin Kamara out
Devin
for
Neal.
the Saints. Devin Neal. Drizzy Drake London, ya boy, out yet again
Yeah, it's killing me.
for what that's
Um,
worth.
yeah.
You already mentioned Jaden Daniels. T. Higgins back. So full compliment for Joe Burr and company against Buffalo today. That should be a really good game. That Buffalo Cincinnati game, that should be a really
Yeah.
solid game. Kyler Murray shut down for the rest of the season. Who didn't see that coming? So
We talked
Kyler,
about that. We talked about how something like that could happen.
yeah,
Does
you kind of
Brissett go
felt it.
into? Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of felt
Yeah.
it.
Well, now that it's like they had the excuse now to just we've got
Uh-huh.
enough from Brissett to see that our offense is just way better. So, where does he go next year? He's got to be going somewhere. So we'll see how that turns out.
Sticking with the Cardinals, Marvin Harrison Jr. out. So I know
Hmm.
Michael Wilson. We were on the Michael Wilson train last week, despite Marv coming back. Michael Wilson was a little disappointing, but with Marv out, you gotta imagine that Michael Wilson is still in the fold for Arizona.
Hmm.
Some concerning news from the Thursday game: CeeDee Lamb didn't finish the second half. I think he may have came out early in the third or something like that, but he had a concussion. So now rolling into the potential playoff game, now they have a long week because they played on Thursday. So you would hope CeeDee Lamb, but you got to keep an eye on CeeDee Lamb, especially if you got him going into your playoffs.
Hmm.
JJ McCarthy cleared concussion protocol. So it looks like he will be playing this week. Justin Herbert, that was a really interesting one. Had a plate and multiple screws inserted into his left hand to stabilize a fracture. He's preparing to play against the Eagles.
Yeah, you'll probably see a lot more. I think they said like a lot more shotgun,
Right. Pistol.
but
Yeah.
now you just got to be aware of getting hit, falling on it, like, as well. So
Yep. Absolutely. So looks like Justin Herbert's going to play. So that's good for the, if you have the Chargers playmakers, if you got Keenan, Ladd, QJ, etc., Gadsden, um, you can fire those guys up. Adam Thielen claimed off waivers by the Steelers. That was like a really interesting cut for the Vikings. So he gets picked up by the Steelers. I don't know how much of an impact that makes. I don't really think it makes much of an impact, but just something to note. Yeah, and that's pretty much it. That is pretty much it. I don't really see any
yeah,
other major
no,
news. So yeah, man, going into this slate, it's gonna be some really good games on the docket too. Pittsburgh and Baltimore. That's a really interesting game. Um, the Cincinnati Buffalo game I mentioned. So there's going to be some inclement weather in Buffalo.
yeah,
So keep that of note. Indy and Jacksonville, both teams 8-4. So that should be a really hotly contested game. And then you got Packers Bears, man. That's going to be a hell of a game at 425.
yeah. I saw that too. I was just checking out my kickers
Oh, you went on you
for
went
the
in
week.
on kickers on Thursday. How much you despise having kickers.
It's fucking bullshit.
Not the
In the
best.
1 week where, like, you really need a win, and then you're going against fucking Aubrey, and the motherfucker's just booting fucking 50-yarders like it's
But
their
he
extra
does
point.
that 60-yarders. He
It's
does
just
that.
bullshit. It's just
But you
but they're
can't.
just in the perfect position all the time. It's like, oh, fucking 3rd and long. I guess fucking Aubrey's gonna come out here and kick a fucking 40,
Uh,
50-yarder, and it's just every time. And when you
I'm
have him on
dead.
your team, it's fucking great. But when you're going against him, it's like, what the fuck?
It is BS when you're going against him. I will give you that.
It's like, really, the game is decided by a fucking kicker.
It
But
be like that, bro.
it is what it is. Dia said he had a dream Tua threw a pick six. I mean, it's not
I could see that.
unusual.
It's not far fetched. He's leading the league, I believe. Yeah.
Um, Mark Twain, howdy gents, what's up, man? The news positive enough to start Kincaid this week.
Yep, he's active and expected to play. I have Kincaid in a redraft and a dynasty league. My other option, I mean, I have Dawson Knox as well, but I had Sam Laporta on that team as well, who's on IR. So yeah, really, I mean, if you have any other, like, what are your other options? It's going to be a messy game, but if you have Kincaid, he's a low end tight end one in my estimation. If he's healthy and out there, obviously with Josh Allen, but there are some weather, factors in Buffalo. But like I said, at a position that's pretty shallow, if you have him, you're probably firing him up. So yeah, I'm firing him up. He's active and he's going to play.
I mean, if he's
The,
playing, you're good to go.
the one thing I do worry about, especially in a cold, inclement weather game, is he had a knee and a hamstring injury. So, it could be a situation where it's like, damn, if he goes out there, runs around for a quarter, tweaks the hamstring, those are always super tricky. So,
His other option is Gadsden, he said, but that's another, I don't think, not good weather ish kind of game.
uh, who are the Chargers playing again?
Eagles.
Eagles. That's on Monday night, I believe.
Yeah. Monday night.
Let me check because I downloaded this app that gives me like the weather and stuff. So, they're playing in LA, so no
They are
issues.
playing in LA?
LA, yeah, they're playing
Oh,
in SoFi.
okay. Never mind then. Never mind then. My bad.
70 degrees, perfect.
They're good.
Yep.
So yeah, do you play Gadsden over Kincaid?
I probably would. I probably would.
Yeah, I
Now
mean, given the other option,
he's cooled off considerably since that kind of 4-game stretch where it looked like he was supplanting, QJ as maybe like that third option in the passing game. So, I mean, but he's still out there 70-ish% of the time. But considering the injury, I really think that's a flip of a coin. But I may lean Gadsden here. It's tough though. That's a tough call. That's a really tough call. It's so weird with that Chargers offense because the first month QJ was hot, then cooled off. Then that's where Gadsden kind of picked up some of the slack. Lat McConkey's been hot and cold. Obviously, you got Keenan Allen in the mix. And then, the news of Omarion Hampton returning, they may want to give him the ball a little bit, split with Vidal. So that's really a flip of a coin. You don't have any weather issues to worry about, as we talked about with the Chargers and the Eagles. So that's really a flip of a coin to me. If I was leaning one way or another, I'd go Gadsden. But if you have a little bit more confidence in Kincaid with Josh Allen, you can roll that way as well.
I don't really think I've got any real start sit decisions this week. With injuries and then the buys, it's like
I got a good one.
Go ahead.
Chris Rodriguez or Aaron Jones?
Oh yeah.
I'm playing Aaron Jones.
Probably
as
Aaron
we speak.
Jones. I mean, Chris Rodriguez getting a little bit more work, but I mean, even with that, even with the touchdown, what do you have? Like barely double-digit points?
10. Nothing in the
Yeah,
receiving
I
game.
mean, so yeah, I mean, I'm not excited about it.
And
But yeah, give me
then
Aaron Jones, who I know is going to be involved in the passing game as well.
And then I got a couple of other kind of like fringe plays. So I'm playing Alec Pierce and Michael Pittman in the same game against Jacksonville. I don't feel great about that, but my other options would be to mix in a Quentin Johnston. Obviously, we just talked about Justin Herbert, a little bit of uncertainty there. So, and then I have Troy Franklin as well. So I'm playing both Alec Pierce and Michael Pittman, and I have Troy Franklin and QJ on the bench. Daniel Jones obviously dealing with a little bit of an injury of his own.
Who's it between, you said?
So I have Alec Pierce and Michael Pittman in my starting lineup.
Yeah.
And I have Troy Franklin and QJ on the bench as kind of pseudo
Troy
options.
Franklin cooled off a little too.
He did, right? So, and Daniel Jones hasn't been great the last 2-ish weeks. Like he was really good, obviously, for the first 9-ish games. But hasn't been spectacular from a passing standpoint.
He's been hurt a little bit too.
Right.
So
Right. So his mobility is not really with that fibula. His mobility is not as good. Obviously, not giving you the extension of the play type stuff. So I'm gonna roll with Pierce, and that is a good weather game out there in Jacksonville. So I'm gonna go with Pierce and Pittman and hope that Pierce catches a bomb and Pittman gets me 6 catches, 5 catches maybe. Touchdown for Pittman, hopefully. But Alec Pierce has been really good.
Oh shit! I can't play this guy. Light to heavy rain. Oh, that was a bad choice. I picked the wrong dude.
Where?
I need a kicker.
What game?
I have McLaughlin.
I mean, the only really weather impact games is going to be in Cleveland.
Well, Tampa's supposed to rain.
And Jacksonville. The Jacksonville game is going to be rain. A lot of rain. So maybe.
So I got Moody. I could choose between Moody, or I could play that Rams kicker, Mevis, at Arizona.
You could. And the Rams are going to be in good scoring situations.
Yeah, but they score touchdowns is a problem.
That's fair. Hey, maybe you get 7 extra points.
Maybe. Is that the move, or is it Jake Moody at Minnesota?
Out in San Fran? Oh, no, Moody's on
Commanders.
Yeah, you could go
Commanders
there.
against Minnesota.
Dome game.
Yeah, so is Arizona. I mean, I'd probably just go with a better offense than Mevis. Fuck, I can't believe I did that. Bro, I don't care if he's in a pending waiver claim. Cancel the waiver claim. All right, let's get that fixed up right quick. All right. Yeah, I'm trying to get a buy in this one league, this creator league. I'm in position for the buy as of right now, but I went against fucking Aubrey this week, so my projection I'm down by like 20.
Yeah, but that's an early game. One game, any of your guys can go off. Don't read in too much into the
Yeah, but
projections.
I mean I've already had Javante, Ferg, and Amon-Ra play, so let me throw that in there as well.
Javante got you the touchdown.
And he had Prescott and fucking CD and
Yeah.
Aubrey.
Yeah. Okay. So now there's a little more context.
So like my big gun. I mean, I still got Puka, I still got Rashi Rice. I still got Lamar, even though that hasn't been anything. Bengals are just too bad not to start Kincaid. I mean, yeah, I agree, but I mean, Gatson is a weapon too. I mean, you can't go
Yeah,
wrong
he is.
really. I mean, when Kincaid is played, like he's been evolved. Like there's not a
Mm-hmm.
number one guy there necessarily. Like it is Kincaid, literally,
Mm-hmm.
almost or Shakir, you can say, right? So
Yep.
yeah, I'm not opposed to playing Kincaid. You're good going Kincaid. Ryan, what's up, Ryan? Good morning. Ibuka or Pierce? Worried about the LG being out for the Bucks and heavy rain for the Colts game and heavy rain for the Colts game standard league.
Yeah, I think I lean Abuka here. Alec Pierce has been really solid, but Alec Pierce is a down the field stretch, big play kind of guy. So the weather may have some impact. It's going to be heavy rain, but not a lot of wind though. So the wind isn't going to be as much of a factor. But the rain for a deep threat like Alec Pierce will be a factor. So I'll lean at Abuka here on that. With the rain being a factor for Alec
Right.
Pierce's type of game.
I mean, it's hard not to go Ibuka. The targets have been there. He hasn't been producing like he was earlier in the season, but you got Godwin coming back as well. Here's a good one: Fannin or Kincaid.
Ooh. Well, Fannin, same thing, really. With that's going to be a defensive struggle. I feel like in Cleveland against Tennessee, and the weather's not going to be great in Cleveland either.
Got Josh Allen
So
as his QB, if that makes any difference.
I would lean Kincaid here, just because he has the better quarterback,
Mhm.
and you might be in more scoring situations. And as Blanc said, um, Kincaid has been very productive when he's been in the lineup. So and there's really no standout receivers with the Buffalo Bills. So Kincaid is a pretty good threat, especially down there in the red zone. Yeah, give me Kincaid here.
Mhm. That CD plays next week. I mean, he's got decent odds just because the game was on Thursday, so you have at least the extra time. Now, being that it's
Right.
fantasy playoffs, I mean, I don't know. Vegas might just be like, nah, just let him play. It's all good. He's good. He
So
passes.
so reading the notes from Sleeper, it says CD has a good day on Friday, quote unquote good day. I have no idea what
What
that
does that? Yeah.
means.
What does that mean? Like the
But obviously the key there is that 10-day layoff between Thursday and Sunday. So I
right.
would say the odds would favor CD playing because of the 10-day layoff. If it was on a short week, might be a little bit more concerned, but obviously you're not really going to know anything until probably Wednesday um,
Mhm.
i- about getting a clear direction on CD. So keep an eye out. I do think he plays though, but with the concussion thing, you just never know. We saw CJ Stroud have a concussion and be out for weeks. So you just
Right.
never know. Amon Ra played Thursday. That was a surprising development. Now, he did have a full week because they played Thanksgiving and then they had basically back-to-back Thursday games. So Amon-Ra playing was a little bit of a surprise, especially if you were in your, crunch time situations. And he was actually pretty productive. I think he has 6 for 92. So
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, Dia said pick up Flournoy. Yeah, I mean, once waivers go through, yeah, if you can pick up
mhm,
Flournoy, that would be. I mean,
ideal.
we saw him be involved right away as soon as
Mhm.
basically CD went down. Like he just started going off.
What the hell is going on with George Pickens?
George Pickens is a fucking hammerhead. I mean, this guy is
He's been awesome for
he's
them. And
he's always been a problem. He's always been good, but then there's always been just those plays where he just takes off or just doesn't give 100%. And you saw some of those, and during that game, especially with CD being out, like you expect him to kind of step
step
up. I
up.
mean, he had what 9 targets, I think. So
Mhm.
it just didn't really produce anything. And you saw on one of them, like it was almost
The
like it
deep
was a
ball.
comeback. It was with the deep ball that he didn't even try for, and then there was like a comeback
We just stood
route
there.
where he was just kind of jogging, almost like he was blocking the fucking corner, and
Mhm.
then it was I don't know, it was weird. But
Yep.
I mean,
Yeah,
I don't
that
know.
was
Maybe he bet the under on himself or something. I don't know.
okay. I see where we're going with this. But no, man, CD's been so productive this year. It was just very disappointing to see that kind of stuff that you kind of saw a little bit in Pittsburgh with the head case kind of flare up because you think when CD goes out, all right, it's going to be a Pickens game. And Pickens has shown in CD's absence that he could step up and be a true number one, right? So that was definitely disappointing.
He
Um,
said he thinks he was told he was going to get a new contract before the game.
that's
He
possible.
wasn't going to get a new contract before the game. That's possible. I mean, look, they've got to pay him a lot of money,
Yep.
and are they going to be able to afford that and be able to spend around other guys? I mean, you are paying some other guys a lot of money already, right? And Dak and CD. So,
And they let Micah Parsons go for that reason,
hmm
and a top producing wide receiver is going to command in the 30s.
yeah. I mean, and if you still believe that CD is your number one guy, then you feel like maybe Pickens could be replaceable, but they've been looking for a guy that can play for a while now, and they haven't really
Mhm.
been able to find one. So, but is Pickens playing good enough where he's just demanding too much money, where it's just
The production's there, man. And I think the
the
biggest and
production's
I
there,
think
but CD was out though also,
well
you
that
know.
goes to Pickens's argument where it's like, "Hey, I've proven that I could step up and be that number 1 and produce like a number 1." So that's really in CD's favor where, hey, Pickens' favor, where it's like, hey, CD Lamb went out and I stepped up and I was true number 1 receiver and kind of kept us essentially in playoff contention
Right.
because the Dallas Cowboys had a situation there where they could have just fallen off the rails, but CD stepped up and produced like a number 1. So Pickens, that, goes to his argument where he should be making number 1 money.
Well, then but you could also look at it in the Cowboys side, like, he did all that, but guess what? We're still fucking losing. Like, we're not in position to
Well, they were
maybe.
on a
So
3-game.
why should we wind up paying him?
Yeah, but is
Or is
that
it just too much in general? Where yes, he did produce, he did show up when you needed him. Now he demands more money, and is that too much money where you don't want to pay that?
No, I agree. It's really, you're looking at it from two different perspectives. You're looking at it from the Pickens side, and you're looking at it from the Cowboys front office side. So for Pickens side, it's like I stepped up. I've been producing. I've shown I could be a number 1 type receiver when it comes down to it. But are the Cowboys willing to invest? And you're going to have to come up with. And that's the thing, though. They have to look at it as: are we going to invest 4 to 5 years with all of that 160 plus over 5 years, that money into a guy that's very volatile? Now, George Pickens is still 24 years old. So you lock him in with CD and Dak, and now you got something.
Do you believe, or do they believe Dak is good enough where they just need to get somebody good enough to play that wide receiver 2 spot. Like, it's just a lot of money that they're gonna have to dish out.
But also
And don't
because
forget,
that,
they still gotta choose what they're gonna do with Javonte. Like,
yeah, that's another one.
you know,
That's another one.
what are they gonna do with Javonte? I'm sure they could keep Javonte for a lot less. So do you keep Javonte and then say, all right, let's just find out. Let's see who we can find. Like, we've got a number one and we've got Ferg. So, like, we just got to find someone decent enough.
Yeah, it's
Is
gonna
that
be.
is it Flournoy? Does Flournoy step up? Like, you know what I mean? Does Flournoy showing? Does that go to say like, hey, maybe we can keep him for we have him for cheap. We don't need to really go and spend this money on Pickens.
Yeah, you can make that argument, and and it's also another factor that we're not taking into account is just the Jerry Jones factor, where he doesn't pay people until
Mhm.
way after. Obviously, this is a little bit of a different situation than Micah, but Jerry Jones has a hard time paying people. He had a hard time paying
Mhm.
Dak. We obviously remember the Ezekiel Elliott situation when they were struggling to pay him and kind of waiting to the 25th hour. So this is going to come down to, do they think he's worth? And like you said, the emergence of Flournoy. He's had two of those monster games, really. He had a monster game against the Jets, 6 for 114. And then obviously he had the monster game against Detroit, 9 for 115 and a touchdown. So maybe they think he can
He's
step
just
in.
Pickens he also just feels like he's just a ticking time bomb. I mean, the
Agreed.
shit that he's
Agreed.
tweeting and then deletes, and then he had like Mahomes' wife up there. Like, it's just some of the stupid shit that he does is
Agreed.
just like, dude, like, what the fuck?
Bro, you know the lineage of those Pittsburgh Steelers wide receivers? They're just nuts. Plexico Burris, Antonio Brown, George Pickens. Like if you
Mhm.
get if you're a Pittsburgh Steeler drafted wide receiver, you're just bound to be a head case. Mike Wallace, remember Mike Wallace was a little bit of a head case.
Mhm. Yeah. All right. What else we got going on?
Need a JSN bounce back. JSN was not good last week. So
Yeah.
I'm looking for a JSN bounce back against Atlanta. Atlanta has a good secondary, but I think JSN should be able to bounce back in that game. A little disappointed in his performance last week.
Yeah. I mean, no. Yeah, like we said, no London as well. So Bijan should get fed. Titans Browns. We talked about that kind of shitty game. I mean, Commanders Vikings. We talked about Jaden Daniels being back. Both teams are just kind of in the shitter, but
Justin Jefferson, man. I mean, what are we doing with Justin Jefferson in our lineups? Like, especially if you're in crunch time, it's been really
can't
bad.
expect can't expect much. Can't expect much. Diaz said Tony Pollard will be RB1 in Dallas next year. I could see that for cheap.
It's possible because Javante is going to get a decent look for a contract. But at 25 years old, obviously he's had a resurgence this season, but he's going
Yeah,
to
I
be
mean, what
looking
do you do
for
with
3 4
Jefferson
years.
and what do you do with Jefferson in Dynasty? Are we trying to buy?
I don't see why not. I mean, a lot of these quarterbacks are, who's to say the Vikings don't go out this season and maybe take a look at a Kyler Murray.
I've already heard some Daniel Jones, but that'll be hard to kind of pry him back away from the Colts. You could look at even like a Jacoby Brissett. Kyler Murray I guess is interesting, but
Yeah, Brissett would be interesting, but I think but Daniel
or
Jones does.
Mac Jones was the other one I heard.
That'd be interesting. I mean, listen, the head coach, Kevin O'Connell, has proved that if he has a competent quarterback, i.e., Sam Darnold, and even Daniel
Mm.
Jones said he learned so much from being in Minnesota in that, Kevin O'Connell kind of offense and learning a lot and blossoming. You're seeing the fruits of that labor, obviously. Sam Darnold, key, right? And Mac Jones, we saw Mac Jones in San Francisco when Purdy was out, flinging out over there. So Mac Jones would be really interesting. Just get yourself a stable quarterback. The weapons are in place.
Mm-hmm. Simpson,
All
what
right.
up? BTJ or Godwin in the flex, full PPR. Have Baker and Buka going today. Just don't trust BDJ.
Well, interestingly enough, the weather in Tampa is going to start out good at 1 o'clock, but it's going to get a little dicey in Tampa as well. But yeah, I think I'm going to go Godwin here just because I know I'm going to get some PPR upside. BTJ is just way too hard to trust. And if anybody watched the last Jacksonville game, Evan Ingram comes onto the scene and is commanding 6-7 targets. So I think Evan Ingram is going to, obviously with Jacoby Myers had a big game. So BTJ is very hard to trust there. Give me Igbuka here. Godwin. Give me Godwin.
Washington is out. Is the only thing that plays in BTJ's favor. But I would rather play, Jacoby over BTJ.
Agreed.
So
It's Godwin here.
yeah, you might have to just go Godwin.
He did get 5 targets, had 3 catches for 78.
Yeah, it's more than what BTJ's giving you.
Mm-hmm.
Ezekiel, what's up? Should I flex Addison, Woody, or Manungai?
Oof.
Manungai's been solid the last few weeks.
Yeah, he has. He's taken on a tough Packers defense against the run, though. But the Bears are going to want to run the football. So it's, you look at that from both sides. Obviously, DeAndre Swift is a factor in the running game as well. Woody has been getting the carries, not efficient at all, in terms of scoring some touchdowns. He is getting a good share of the work. And then Addison, you can't trust Addison. I think it's Manungai.
Yeah, it is Manungai.
With a possible scoring opportunities.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I'm going Manungai. It's hard to trust Addison.
I think Simpson added in Manungai to his thing. I'm still going with Godwin, though.
Or Simpson said also, or Manungai. So BTJ Godwin or Manungai.
I think I'm still going to go Godwin here because of the matchup. And that, like I said, the Packers and this isn't, fanboy speaking. They held Jahmyr Gibbs down on Thanksgiving on a fast track. So I think the Packers are really good. They have a good defense overall. But the Bears are going to be committed to the run. So make of that what you will. I'd still go Godwin, but Manungai is interesting with touchdown upside.
Saucy Boa, what's up, man? With the new Jacksonville Indy weather, need one for flex, BTJ, Jacoby, or DK.
I think we just talked about Jacoby. We talked about
just
BTJ.
Going Jacoby over BTJ for sure. And are you playing him over DK?
Yeah, DK. You can't trust DK right now. And Aaron Rodgers got the wrist injury. Mason Rudolph was in the game a little bit last week when Aaron Rodgers took a hit. Yeah, it's Jacoby Myers.
Yeah. So yeah, we're going Myers there. But yeah, then the other thing is we talked about Justin Jefferson or trying to buy Justin Jefferson. Same thing with even like Drake London or Malik Neighbors, right? When these guys are hurt and you're trying to buy them, it's been hard this year in particular. I feel like I haven't really been. And I've got a couple Burrow shares from earlier in the year when he went down, but I haven't been able to really capitalize on some of the other injuries. And it's just people even if they're out of it, it's just I can't move that. I can't move them. I'm not willing to move them. Not trading them, no matter what, the offer is. It could be a good offer. It just doesn't matter. They're not even interested in trying to trade these guys.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting because I think as the Dynasty community evolves, obviously shows like ours, we have, other shows that we, are connected with, is that the strategy is there now because you could see situations like a perfect situation was last year. I traded Mike Evans straight up for Rashee Rice, and that's paying massive dividends right now, right? On this team. Mike Evans, obviously a little bit older. The guy was looking for points. Rashee Rice was hurt last year and had the suspension on top of it. So I was able to get Rashee Rice for a Mike Evans, and now that's paying dividends. So I think a lot of people are kind of holding on to those cornerstone type of guys and saying, hey, I could wait the year. I'll get a good draft pick in my rookie draft, have this guy come back, as opposed to, giving up on them just to score some points in the interim.
Yeah. Zico said Goddard or Schultz or Kincaid.
Ooh, I mean, Schultz has been okay.
Schultz has been solid, yeah.
I do like me some Dalton Schultz. Now that KC game is going to be tough. That passing offense for Philly now was pretty good against Dallas. Yeah, Goddard just hasn't had enough volume in the last month for me to feel good. So it's between Schultz and Kincaid. I'll go Dalton Schultz here. But Kincaid is interesting. There's, like we said before, there's a little bit of a weather issue. But Dalton Schultz, I think they're playing the Rams. No, they're playing
Schultz has
KC.
got the KC, yeah.
At KC.
Yeah, I mean, shit. Even from after the bye week, I mean, 10 targets, 3 targets, 8 targets, 11 targets, 9 targets, 4 targets, 8 targets. Like, he's getting.
And most of that with Davis Mills, but then he comes back and gets 8 targets with CJ Stroud.
Right.
So I think we feel pretty good with Schultz here. But Kincaid, like I said, Kincaid is interesting because he does play well, and he commands targets, especially down in the red zone. But with that weather, it made me lean towards Schultz. Let me see what the weather's going to be like in KC. Kansas City. It's going to be cold, but very little wind and no rain. So it's going to be 24 degrees, but that shouldn't have much of an impact on the pass catching for the Houston Texans.
Simpson said, hey, asking kicker question, but Lutz over Cam Little, Lutz in a dome.
Yeah, Cam Little's Jacksonville's kicker, I believe. Yeah, Go Lutz. Jacksonville's going to have terrible weather today. Rain.
Just simple as looking at the weather and the dome. Anytime you're in a dome, it's going to be a better opportunity to score kind of some more points. So. Dolphins, Jets. I mean, is Tua playing for his job at this point? I mean, they're not bad enough, I guess, to get it like a top pick, or there's not enough great quarterbacks coming out to be like, are they just going to replace him next year? So, like, he is probably safe unless he plays himself out of it almost.
And they've played fairly well. Like the Dolphins have played fair. I mean, they are 5-7. It's not great, but it's not the train wreck it was to begin, at the beginning of the season. So they've kind of played them. And if they win this, they're 6-7. So you go into that and you're like, if they have an outside chance of maybe trying to squeak into the play, but they'll be playing some. If they beat the Jets today, they'll be playing some relevant games. And Achane has been amazing. Like Achane has picked up the pace over the last month or so. So. The Dolphins, I mean, not a lot there, obviously, and Tua's throwing interceptions like crazy, but they're not terrible. And like you said, where else are they going to get a quarterback?
Right. Saints, Bucks. We talked about Neil. Olave, obviously, going to be doing his thing. We talked about some of the Bucks as well and the weather that we should expect there. Mevis or Lutz. Like the only thing with Mevis is that I think let's pull him up real quick. I think he's kicked like the past 3 games, maybe.
He's been solid.
He's only kicked 2 actual field goals. Everything else is extra points. So
because they're scoring touchdowns, like you said, all the time.
So that's the only thing with Mevis. So
the offense is too good for Mevis.
Now, are they, do they start just blowing out the Cardinals and maybe they're just, go into coast mode and start, kicking field goals eventually because they're not kind of throwing the ball downfield? I don't know, maybe. But
Yeah, but Lutz has been a little hot and cold. Honestly, Lutz hasn't been great. He's only had one double-digit scoring game, and that was against Kansas City. He had the 18-point game, but
Mm.
Lutz isn't anything to write home about. You could go with Mevis and hope, like you said, that there's a little bit of resistance from Arizona.
I mean, at Vegas is great. But Denver does, I don't want to say struggle necessarily to score touchdowns, but
Offensively,
you're
they're
more
not
likely
great.
to get some field goal. Yeah, you're like more likely to get some kind of
Yeah,
field goals out
offensively
of
is
it.
not great, but I mean, honestly, I think it's 50-50. You can make the argument for both because
Right.
Denver's offense isn't great at scoring touchdowns, but also the Rams are too
All
good
right.
at scoring
Right.
touchdowns.
Right. I mean, you could go with either or. I don't think it's going to matter, but yeah, I'll just go with a better offense in general.
I would lean that way as well.
Winning first round bye. Yeah, I'm in a couple of those spots here. Um, and I had to go against Aubrey, so you know.
Yeah, if I win in the sub league 2, I'm getting a bye. I'm getting the top overall seed if I win in sub league 2, unless this other person wins and outscores me by like 10, which is quite possible.
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. I've got basically 4 dynasties that are not going to make the playoffs. 3 of them were rebuilds. One of them I was contending, but Jaden Daniels going down basically killed me. And then I had CD and Neighbors on that squad too, so I was just doomed. But on the teams that I'm not making the playoffs, I am. Other than one of them, they are all. I've found a way to make it to the bottom.
I found a way to make it to the bottom. I love that.
Yeah, just by, making trades, trying to have the lowest points and losses without, sabotaging lineups or doing anything crazy like that. So that has worked out. And that's what you want to do. You don't if you're not going to make it, then you want to try and get, to the bottom. But a lot of those teams are CD, Neighbors, um, London, like just injuries throughout,
Mm-hmm.
Burrow.
Yeah, man, it's those injuries that really that you got to be able to rebound from somehow, and you got to find those. We talk about this all the time, where especially in your drafts, even in Dynasty, right? Like you got to find those gems, those diamonds in the rough that are like a Vidal who's going to
Mhm.
step up and who's going to be able to at least make
It's
up some of the production for you.
Right, and speaking of that, what I am doing now in all of my not so much in Dynasty, because obviously there's not much guys on, waivers, but in redraft right now is I'm dropping guys I know I'm not gonna play or, roster clogger type wide receivers and picking up any of those backup running backs that could be possibly available, like Michelle Tutons and the, um who else
Emmanuel
is there?
Wilson is a good one.
Emmanuel Wilson I just picked up in one league, right? Any of those that if the main guy goes down, that you it could be one of those
Mm-hmm.
league winner type guys. And depending on how deep your league is, there may be guys available or there may not be. But yeah, just stacking up those going into the playoffs. I've got two in Wilson, Sharps on one squad. Still waiting for Trey Benson to come back. I mean, who knows what that's going to look like.
He's been out for a while now.
Blake Corum, right? If any of these guys
Corum.
somehow are available in your leagues, and again, it's going to depend on how deep the bench is, but
Yeah, Blake Corum's a really good one because I've started to notice as well that it looks like because the Rams are playing so well and they've been ahead in a ton of these games where Kyron's not getting that 25 per, carry per game workload. Blake Corum is
you don't
getting
need
some
to.
significant work, right? Not a ton in the passing game, but there's games there where he's had 12, 13 carries last week against Carolina, and they were in a dogfight against Carolina. Obviously, they lost. He had 7 for 81 and a touchdown against Carolina. So
I mean, the
Blake
Rams,
Corum, you could look at Blake Corum and Sharps kind of in the same light.
right?
I know Sharps is
Right.
getting a little more action than Corum from a percentage standpoint, but Blake Corum and Sharps are kind of similar situations.
The Rams haven't really had a decent backup to put in for Kyron, so they've had to play Kyron 95-100% of the snaps you were seeing like 2 years ago. They got Corum last year. He was a rookie coming in, so he got a little bit of work. But Kyron still kind of dominated everything. And now you see coming into year 2, okay, Corum understands offense a little bit better. He can play a little bit. They're giving some of that in between the 20s work to, Corum, or even some goal line carries in some instances where they don't, like you said, they're up in the games and they don't have to ram Kyron into the ground. Like, they don't need to run him into the ground. So,
And they know they're going to want him for a long playoff run.
right. Right. But yeah, I think we pretty much hit on everything here. I don't got nothing else. You got anything else?
Nah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I do have I'm a little worried about that Colts Jags game. I have that situation where I've got Pierce and Pittman and I don't know what to do. Um I don't know if I should throw a QJ in there. I don't know if I should throw a Troy Franklin. Troy Franklin playing against the Raiders. He could catch a bomb from Bo Nix. Good, obviously good weather, good situation. I don't know what I'm going to do with this Pittman. I probably shouldn't play them both. I mean, Pittman is more of the possession guy in a not great weather game, and you're probably going to imagine the Colts want to run it 25, 30 times with Jonathan Taylor in a rainy type situation. So I'm really kind of stuck on what to do with Pierce and Pittman here. Maybe I go Troy Franklin. And this is a situation where if I win, I mean, I'm already in the playoffs, but if I win, I get a first round bye in all likelihood. So, and probably the top spot. So
I mean,
this is a game I need to
honestly,
win. And I've already had Javonte play for me. And then I had Goff and St. Brown play for me. And the guy I'm going against, he has a really good projection. He's actually projected to win. Not crazy amount, but he's got Chase. He's got Michael Wilson. He's got Trey McBride, Jacoby Myers, Bo Nix, Matthew Stafford, Bijan Robinson, Kyron. So I got my hands full with this particular matchup. And I really want to get that first round bye.
I need Lamar. I need you to step it up, bro.
That's asking for
I
a
mean,
lot.
you were killing it early on. I know you were injured a little bit and kind of just been coasting these last few weeks, but it's important these next few weeks. You were a third round pick, basically.
You better play
Um,
Joe Burrow
and
in sub league too.
I need you to step it up. And I'm not playing Joe Burrow in sub league too, because that motherfucker is not setting his lineup. So I'm just going with what the fuck he's got going on. So he's got 3 guys that are not playing, and I try to just kind of match it up. I'm not totally just bombing it, but I'm matching it up. That motherfucker. And he didn't play his guys the last like few
I know.
weeks. So I'm like, what the fuck? I worked hard to get the fucking 101. Okay. I worked my ass off because I've been playing my guys every week here.
I'm gonna get somebody else in that spot that's gonna run that team correctly. Because I actually reminded him.
I didn't want to
feel where
do
you're
it, but I
coming
had
from.
to. But I had to because looking at the last couple weeks, I'm like, oh shit, this motherfucker.
He's
Meanwhile, I'm
on your
playing
tails.
my dogs. Right. The only last questions y'all guys got in the chats?
Yeah, I got to get this win. It looks like the people that are on my tails for that spot. Oh, I got to text Bagala to get more. I need him to beat Chicken. I need Bagala to beat Chicken.
But yeah, good luck, everybody. Good luck getting to the playoffs here. I know it's a big week for most players, most GMs here. But yeah, I mean, get those buys locked in if you can. And hopefully we see y'all next week for the playoffs. Hopefully y'all got some some playoff runs in us. Hopefully, CD's back. We need CD to be playing. So hopefully, London's back. I mean, we need London back too. It's crazy. It's been the wide receivers this year that have gotten hurt, and not really necessarily the running backs.
Yeah, the running backs have been relatively healthy for the most part, especially the big dogs. I know Josh Jacobs, my guy's been a little banged up, but nothing crazy.
But
Jonathan
JT,
Taylor held up.
CMC,
Achan's
Bijan,
been good.
Gibbs, Achan,
Cook,
they've all been cooked. They've all been healthy. Yeah. They've all been healthy.
Yeah, it's been wide
Right,
receivers
let's
and
get up.
quarterback.
Let's get up out of here. Appreciate everybody coming out, and
Playoff
hopefully
stretch.
we'll see y'all next week.